Okay, we are good. We are roaring. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, to RPL F1. We are in round 8 of the Formula 1 season here at Hungary. Alright, here we go. So, we have loaded up into Q1. Right now, we have 16 in. Could have more joining very shortly. So, here we go. So, last week, we were at Canada, and the race was won by TB, getting his first win this season, and his second overall in RPL F1, and after switching teams to Ferrari. Cryptic was second, and Beatnik P3. In the Drivers' Championship, Scyther still leads 148 points. The Chiller sitting in second with 79, and Luke sitting in third with 72. Constructors, Red Bull sitting at 177 points in the Constructors. Mercedes sitting in second with 144, and Ferrari third place with 127. Now there has been two switches, by the way. Our first switch, Bourbon, as you can see, he is here in the Mercedes, signed the Mercedes, replacing the other guy who is on an outlap right now. Yep, you're not seeing it wrong. The Chiller is back in a Big 3 competitive car. He is in Red Bull. So, as some of these guys are already out onto their first of flying laps. Well, let's take a look. As it looks like Leighton is going to be the benchmark guy. Oh, never mind. He just killed himself. And, well, it was going to be Red Fire next, but he invalidated. So, we don't know who the next guy is going to be. Oh, it's going to be Scyther. Or is it Philaden? No, Philaden. It is Philaden in the Williams. So he'll be the benchmark. Okay, so in regards to drivers, here's who we have right now. We have Stenner in the Ferrari, Bourbon in the Mercedes, JP in the AlphaTauri, Division in Aston Martin, Zakaria in Haas, Philaden in Williams, Trat in the other AlphaTauri, the Chiller in Red Bull, Cryptic in the other Mercedes, Owen in Alfa Romeo, Red Fire in Alpine, Scyther in the other Red Bull, Joseph Loki back in it again on PC. Hopefully he stays and doesn't cause too much chaos like he did in Miami. He is in the McLaren. Instinct in the other Alfa Romeo, Leighton in the other Aston Martin, And Jack loaned out. He is in the other Williams. So there are 2 guys that will be joining during qualifying. Apparently, maybe Maxwell might be one. We do not know. Well, Maxwell says he'll be here in about 30 minutes, which is going to be right during Q3. Right around Q3 is when he'll be back. Anyway, so Scyther has set the fastest lap right now with a 16.3. Red Fire puts it in the second with a 17.4. And Instinct, 17.8. And Jack, 18.0 in the Williams. Joe and Trat have to redo their laps. So here we are on board with the chiller. He makes his trek through the last couple of corners. Zakaria puts a P4, 17.9. And the chiller comes across the line, 16.6. Puts in second place. Well, Twitch is just being glitchy as usual. Just before I started the stream, I put this as round 8, but apparently it just reversed back to being our round 7. But it's not round 7, it's round 8. Well, technically it's the 7th race because Spain got canceled. But anyways. Anyways, so currently out is Philodent. Yep, never mind. Philodent got thrown out. Let's see what Leighton's able to do. Yes, Joe just puts a P3 with a 17.4 in the McLaren. Meanwhile, at this present time, Stenner, Bourbon, Philden, Cryptic, Owen, Leighton yet to set laps, but Leighton's about to do that. Oh, never mind. Leighton is wrecked, and that ends Q1. So there's only 16. One is destroyed. So we'll be on to Q2 once these guys set a lap. Alright, so Phil Dent's joined back. He'll be out for a new lap. Owen's in the pits. And yeah. So yeah, once Phil Dent and Owen set their laps, we'll be moving on into Q2 most likely. Everybody's backing out from their laps. Phil Dent and Owens still sitting there. Had to set theirs. Now, Trat has killed himself too, so he is going to be out, I believe. Is he? Did he die? Did he really die? Yes, he did. Okay, so Trat will be out. So we'll have 14 going to Q2. Phil Dent has to redo. Owen on out lap. Okay, so just want to bear with us on this piece. So there might be a possibility that after qualifying, we might be restarting the race, the lobby, because we found out that not only is Maxwell going to be joining during this qualifying session, but also FRA ads will be joining. A driver who has not been seen since Imola early in the season. And but I have notified Jack, who is the lobby host, that if ads does join during the course of Q2, by the way, as Owen just goes P6, so everyone has set their laps. Phil Dent at the bottom. Anyways, so if ads joins in, but if ads joins before Maxwell does, the first seat that will be filled is Ferrari, and that means ads will be in the incorrect car, therefore causing a restart. Alright. It's only 2.5 minutes to go. So far, fastest lap is Scyther. Stanner is second. And the Chiller is sitting third. Alright, Ads is in. He's got it. I do. Now, Az is going to be in a unique situation because he's loaned from Red Bull to be in McLaren. Hasn't raced since Imola. So, we'll see how he is able to do. I mean, literally, he was basically rushed on getting in. Basically rushed on getting in and stuff. So, we'll have to see what happens. We'll see what happens here. Let's go on board with the late guy. He's made in time. Just about 30 seconds ago. So we lost Leighton. Now if Ads gets higher than a 19-0, he's through to Q2, and unfortunately Philident will be knocked out of Q2, will be out of Q1. So Philident retired thinking, well, I'm through, I've definitely done enough. Oh, Az is invalidated, and he's out. Oh. Well, Phil Dennis saved it. He's good. As we just see Joe just spinning like mad. Well, Joe's just enjoying himself with some Tokyo Drift. And Joe is wrecked out, so Joe is done. The Formula 4 driver would have been through to Q2, but he's dead. So now we have only 13. Okay, so 13 drivers are through. We say goodbye to both McLarens. As invalidating, Joe being Joe and has killed himself. Track killed himself, and Leighton killed himself. So, yeah, so we're moving on into Q2 with 13. Okay, so here we go. And it looks like a Red Bull and a Mercedes are out. And here comes a Ferrari for Stenner. And looks like the first guy out is going to be Owen. So Owen's out, Jack's out, DeChiller's out, JP's out, Bourbon out. And Stenner will be joining in a second. There comes Cryptic. Yeah, everyone's coming. Except for... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, except for Scyther, but now there's movement. So Scyther is moving. Okay, so let's take a look at Q2. So we have one Ferrari. So we have... So, yeah, for Q2, we have... Well, come on! Piece of junk. Okay, so we got one Ferrari, both Mercedes, one Alpha Tauri, both one Aston, one Haas, both Williams, both Red Bulls, an Alpine, and both Alfa Romeos. Now the big question: who do I think will be knocked out of Q2 and go? Who do I think will be knocked out of Q2? While I'm pondering that, as Owen will go on board with Owen while I ponder over this. Who do I think will be knocked out of Q2? I'm going to say the Aston Martin of Division, the Haas of Zakaria, Philident, the first Williams. And I hate to be that guy, but I think those are the three that are going to be out. It's going to be Zakaria, Division, and Philident. Those who I think are going to be out. Jack is going to get into Q3, but just. I think it's going to be that. Jack will get into Q3, but just barely. So Owen making his way around the last corner. Getting his way through. Here he comes across the line to set the benchmark. 16.8 is our benchmark. So, let's see who matches what. Jack, a second behind, 17.8. Here comes JP, 17.9. So, the Alpha Tauri, a 10th ahead of the Williams. The Chillers 16.3. Bourbon puts in the 16.2. Instinct slowest 17.9. Here's Stenner 16.7. Red Fire 16.9. Cryptic 17.3. Division 17.9. Here comes Philident 19.2. Zakaria 17.9. And Scyther 16.0. So, at this present time, Philident, Zakaria, Instinct that are going to be knocked out. But this is fresh into Q2. So, plenty of time to change things up. Alright, so Maxwell is here, so let's get that big lug in here. Where are you? Here you are. Come on in. Come on in, Maxwell. And JP knocked out. Disqualified for blocking the pit lane. So GP just basically did a TB. Yeah, so we have confirmed that GP apparently spun in the entrance of the pits and got immediately disqualified for blocking the pit entry. And last week that happened to TB. He spun on the exit of pit lane and got disqualified for it. That's funny. Oh, uh-oh. Well, Instinct just passed on to me. 10-15 minutes until rain. So looks like we are going to see rain towards the end, right in the middle of Q3. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, so looks like Division has called it early. I mean, Division's only P9, so I mean, I wouldn't even trust the time he's got. I would have gone out and tried to get a better time. I mean, literally, Division 17,915, and literally P10 and literally P11 is only 700s off his time. So, unless Division is playing a major serious mental game, or he's just not... I don't know. Maybe Aston Martin's got monkeys in their garage, like the Ferrari strategists going on in real life Formula One. Oh, okay. Goodbye, Scyther. He just crashed right at the end of Sector 2. Well, so Scyther crashed at the end of Sector 2, and he's out. He got up and his controller dropped, and he just went off and died. Damn. And back to the pause menu. Oh, no. Well, so Scyther's out, so he'll be starting 10th. That'll suck. Anyways, here comes Zakaria. Here he comes across the line, and it is a 17.8, puts him P8. So Division. So Instinct and... So basically Instinct has to do slightly better than Division to get through to Q3. Basically, in Philden's case, he needs to gain almost 2 seconds in order to beat... He needs to gain 2 seconds in order to get Zakaria's time. So, is it possible we're going to see a different pole sitter again? Because, I mean, last week we had the unthinkable, which was Beatnik getting pole. But we'll have to see. Reddit's called it, so we know he's okay. I mean, literally that P9 is literally the hot spot of the event. And speed of which, Instinct did just that. Instinct did just that. 17.4. So he gets through to P9. Meanwhile, Division eliminated. So one of my predictions did happen. Before then, hasn't improved. I mean, he did slightly get a, he did improve by like 500s, but it's not even enough. He's still dead last out of this group. So, I mean, maybe this track must be getting to him, because last week Philodin just missed Q3 starting in P11. But now, so we'll have to see what happens. So it looks like Philodin is going to be returning back to the pits to get a new set of sauce to try to find that extra time that was lost. So yeah, so we had, so far out of 6 races, we have had 4 different pole sitters, being Jack, Scyther, JP, and Beatnik. So 2.5 minutes to go. In Q2, so yeah, so we're saying goodbye to 4 drivers. We say goodbye to JP, disqualified after spinning in the pit entry. Philodin couldn't improve, so he's out. Division, too slow, is out. And Scyther wrecked, so he's out. Well, we don't know if Maxwell is showing up. I mean, he's online, but he's just in GP mode in Australia apparently. So Stenner, the only one yet to retire. So only 30 seconds to go. So. We'll have to see what happens here. But anyways. So top 9, it is Bourbon, DeChiller, Stenner, Owen, Redfire, Cryptic, Jack, Zakaria, and Instinct going through to Q3. And we'll see what happens when we go from Q2, from Q3. We'll see who has pole. Oh boy. The rain's here. Now the question is, are these guys going to get out in time? No, these guys are going to set a lap before the track is too wet. This is going to get good. Let's see what happens. But Owen is out first. Sakari is right behind. This ought to be freaking good. I mean, these guys are going to have to just try their best. I mean, these guys are just slipping just a little bit, but I'm not sure if DRS is actively available. But Cryptic and Instinct have actually decided to gamble, go with the intermediates already. We'll have to see what happens. This should be good. Alright, so let's see what happens here. Scyther is complaining, going like, why are they on slicks? And he's actually called Cryptic and Instinct to be 1-2. Well, we'll have to see what happens. Well, let's see. So I saw Owen did a 31-2. Yeah, Cryptic's almost 2 seconds faster. And it looks like Red has binned it. So, yeah, so Cryptic an Instinct 0.8 off of Cryptic's time. So we'll have to see what happens as these guys come around. Minute 7 for Cryptic. Anyway, so here we go. Jack 34-1. The Chiller 34-0. Cryptic 25-9. Almost 9 seconds clear of the Chiller. Anyways, here comes Instinct. And he puts a 26-0. A 10th off of Cryptic's time. And Instinct, purple in Sector 3. So, we'll have to see what happens now. As the remaining guys on slicks are gonna have to bumble around to get back to the pits. Owen and Bourbon are already back out. So, who do I think is going to be the top three? I think top three is going to be a toss-up between the Chiller, Cryptic. I mean, Stenner might be pretty close to do something, but Bourbon might do something as well. I mean, literally, Bourbon was last season's winner at this track, winning for Mercedes. And that was basically extra celebration on top for Bourbon, because at that time when he won last season in F1, he was the season 11 F2 champion. So basically extra celebration on top for Bourbon there last season in F1. Pretty much 2 seasons ago for F2. Anyways, so here we go. Zoen is making his trundle on around. Let's see what Owen can do to answer Cryptic's time of a 25.9. I didn't see how fast his Sector 1 time was. Let's see what he is in Sector 2. Cryptic was a minute .7. And about a second off. So about a second off in terms of Owen's part. But we'll have to see what happens as he comes around the last corner. He might be able to slingshot past Instinct, perhaps, as he comes across the line. It's 26.8. So, as Bourbon is heading out to the pits, Red Fire making his way through. Stenner is going to be coming across. Here he shoots across, and that's a 27-1. P4. Now, Red Fire, not sure what he's going to be capable of doing. I mean, in Sector 2, he is almost 2 seconds off of Cryptic's time. It's after Sector 2, here he comes across, 27.4. Now, Zakaria is about to start his. Meanwhile, keep an eye on the Chiller and Jack. As Cryptic, slow for the chicane to let Stenner through. Here comes Jack. 3 seconds off of Cryptic's time, but gained 2.5 on his own. On his own time. As he comes around the final corner. And it is 28.5 to Chiller. Ooh, 27.4. So the Chiller not looking too good. Zakaria. Zakaria over 3 seconds off of Cryptic's time in Sector 2. As it comes around the final corner, let's see what the Haas driver is able to do. And here he comes, 29.1. We're just waiting on Bourbon. See what time he is able to do. 30.2. So, I think my memory's right. He's a 10th off of. About. He's 6/10 off of Cryptic in Sector 1. Oh, gets loose, Bourbon, but saves it. So here he comes. Let's see if Bourbon can at least cross the line in time to start one final run. And he does. Okay, with like 6 seconds to go. So he is good. Redfire's called it. He's in there. And it looks like Zakaria spun out. So Zakaria's day's done. He'll start P8 maybe, but maybe P9. There comes the Chiller. And the Chiller, P4. And well, Bourbon is not able to do anything. Let's see. Here comes Instinct, and it's not enough. So Cryptic has taken pole. So, Cryptic, 5th driver of the season for pole position, and he beats Instinct by 0.08 of a second. Instinct, Alfa Romeo, for the second week in a row, is on the front row, and Owen P3. So an Alfa Romeo 2-3. Well, so Maxwell and Blackie are in. So let's fingers crossed that Maxwell is on. Let's take a look. Okay, yep, Maxwell is in the Ferrari and Blackie in Alpine. Okay, so while we're waiting, let's take a look at the tire compounds because we're going to be going to 5 lights and away we go. So it looks like Scyther, Trat, Joe, and GP are on the hard compound tires. Everybody else is on the mediums. So here's the grid. Cryptic is on the front row with Instinct for second. Owen and the Chiller make up row number 2. Stenner, Redfire, row 3. Jack and Zakaria, row 4. Bourbon Scyther row 5, Division Philodent row 6, JP Joe row 7, Trat and Az row 8, Leighton and Maxwell row 9, and Blackie in the back. Alright, so here we go. The 5 lights come on to start the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. It looks like Cryptic got a really good launch ahead of Instinct. Here comes Owen just alongside. Here comes Cryptic to cover off for the cars as they head into turn 1. We are almost 3 wide into turn 1 to Chiller making moves on the Alfa Romeo to get himself into P3. Instinct falls to P4. Stenner sitting P5. Here goes Red Fire battling with Bourbon for P6. Looks like, oh boy, so much to talk about here. As we're looking at these cars bumbling on around, hard and around to go, ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. As they rocket around, here's Jack on the outside battling against Sicaria. As they make their way through the chicane, now it's all filing up in a single file. Looks like Phil then taking a peek on Trat, and Trat has gone around. He is facing the wrong, well, somewhat facing the wrong way. Trat to the back of the field. That's quite unfortunate. Oh, someone went far wide. Not sure who that was. And it looks like, oh, Bourbon's in trouble. It looks like Bourbon has spun at the start of Sector 3, and Bourbon falls to the back of the field. And, uh-oh, there goes Blackie spun. So as these guys are finishing the first lap, it is Cryptic to Chiller, Stenner getting win for P3, Owen P4, Instant clear, battling Red Fire Tiger for P5. But Red Fire staying cool, staying in 5th. Instinct falling to P6, Scyther down in P7, Jack P8, Sicaria P9, Maxwell, started dead last, is already in P10. Maxwell's already up into P10 after starting P18, and Scyther, by the way, Scyther P7 after starting P10. Now, this is going to be interesting, because we have Cryptic leading away from the Chiller. The Chiller's right up on his tail as we go on board with the Chiller right now. And the question is, will we have a repeat of last week? Because last week, TB switched from McLaren to Ferrari before Canada, won in Canada. Can the Chiller repeat it? He left Mercedes, joined Red Bull. Will he do like TB and win his first race? No, when was the last time the Chiller even won a race? I think it was like season 1. I can't even remember the last time the Chiller even won a race. The Chiller's thinking a move on Cryptic. On the inside, sneaking a tire in. Cryptic sees it, covers him, and he is alright. It looks like Instinct has had a malfunction. Yes, he has. He has spun at the exit of turn 4. Anyways, back up front, the battle for the lead between the Chiller and Cryptic. It looks like Stenner is going to be joining the party. I mean, literally one car from the top 3 teams involved. And it looks like we have an issue. Philodent has left the lobby, and Leighton had an issue in the S's. Anyways, DRS is active and available. Will the Chiller make the attack? Yes, he does. Bottom shot into the lead before turn number 1. And he has done it. He is through. It looks like Joe had an issue in the first straight. And Maxwell just took 2 people in one go. He just got past Scyther and Jack for P6 on the front straight. Now here is Stenner looking to possibly sneak a move on Cryptic to get himself into P2. And the Chiller has decided to run off with the lead. Looks like we have an issue in sector number 2. Was that Joe or was it Blackie that spawned? Anyways, here is the fight for P2 between Stenner and Cryptic. Looks like an issue that is Instinct around. The man that started P2 has fallen to the back of the field. And Stenner, inside shot and through Stenner to P2. Instinct is just way off the pace, not feeling himself. I mean, he was all up in the clouds starting in P2, and it's just gone. It's just gone away from him. Anyways, Bourbon sneaking a move on the outside of JP. This is for the last points position. Very ambitious. Extremely ambitious, and Bourbon is through to P10. That is a very creative move as JP just slips and slides, but keeps it together. It looks like we have an issue. That is Division spun in turn 6. Not no, yeah, it is out of the exit of turn 6, but he has fallen to the back of the field. Meanwhile, looks like we're having another battle. This time between Maxwell and Red Fire. As Track joins the 3-second penalty club. Here comes Maxwell. Bottom shot, slingshots it to try to get by Red. And he has done it. He has done it. Maxwell to P5. It looks like Zakaria hanging on with Bourbon. See if he can maybe sneak an attack for P9. Meanwhile, Bourbon up on against Jack for P8. Well, Bourbon trying to hunt down one of his former teammates. And here he comes, making a bomb shot move, collision, and Jack goes spinning. Jack into a slight spin. Oh boy, that might be looked at by the stewards. So I mean, we caught that aerial cam just a shot. I mean, Bourbon did send a shot, and I think he wasn't enough to make that move effective, and Jack winds up going spinning and out of the points now. Meanwhile, back up front, Stenner eyeballing the Chiller. Will he make an attack for the lead? Oh, yes, he will. He's going for the outside shot. He's got a better exit. Side by side as he make the way into turn number 3. And will we have another lead change? Yes, indeed, maybe no. The Chiller hanging tough. Wow, Stenner, I thought he had it before turn 3, but the Chiller puts the brakes on. It looks like a slip of understeer has cost Stenner. He's lost P2 to Cryptic. Stenner's going to have to at least try to rally away to try to get that position back as Maxwell goes very wide, just catching it in the background. As they make their way into turn number 15, and looks like Stenner might have a problem as he's battling his boss for P3. Looks like Bourbon is in. Bourbon is in early. I think Mercedes team didn't expect that, but he's on the hard compound. That's why he's getting a wing change. So it looks like Bourbon, with contact from Jack, has a wing affected. So unfortunately, that will be the end of that. And what is Trat doing? Trat is just sitting on the track going backwards. And Instinct has gone to the pits and he's out of the event. Well, Trat is just stuck. Anyway, so Maxwell, by the way, just overtook his boss for P4. And Instinct has called it. He's out of the race. No safety car. So that's good there. As Stenner just overtook Cryptic for P2. But not for long. Here comes Cryptic again. Battling it up. And Stenner saying, nah, this is my spot now. Stenner retakes the lead. Retakes second place. But now he's gonna have to close that gap on the Chiller, and he's around into the wall, and Stenner, his race is now pretty much out of it. VSC deployed. Jeez. So Stenner, I think caught the curb at turn 5, and he just went flying off and around and into the wall. So Stenner retook second place, now in 7th with severe wing damage. He'll be falling back to P13. Now once Stenner comes into the pits and changes that wing and goes on to a new set of hards. Looks like Red Fire has decided, I'm going to take advantage of this and go for a pit. And Blackie drives through penalty for speeding. And he's going to serve it right out of the gate. Stenner is pitted as well. And Stenner is going to come out just behind Leighton in P13, just as I predicted it. Well, anyways, the Chiller, by the way, 2.6 seconds the lead is over Cryptic. Maxwell all over the back of Cryptic to try to get vengeance for his falling teammate. To try to snag that P2. And that's not the only battle. Joseph Loki battling with Jack for P8. We'll have to catch that as we watch the end of this fight. Will he be able to make the move onto the inside? Oh, he's going to go long shot down the inside. And Maxwell successful in the second place. Let's get back to this. And Joe is spun. Keeps it off the wall. Full 360. Joe's able to continue on. Looks like Joe caught the too much curbing at the exit of the final corner, and he just lost it. Oh, Joe's nice save indeed. Keeps it out of trouble, to say the least. Meanwhile, a bit further back, Leighton gives Stenner a shove off to try to keep P12, but Stenner gonna try again. Here goes Bourbon down the outside. And into the wall. Goes Stenner again. Stenner into the wall, but I couldn't catch the angle. Did he have help from Bourbon? Well, that is a tricky one. I mean, we did see Bourbon sneaking the move on the outside, and the next thing we see is Stenner going around. And we did see Bourbon wide, so maybe Stenner had help being spun by Bourbon. Meanwhile, Owen harassing the tail of Cryptic. This is the last spot on the podium position. And it looks like Stenner has crashed at the pit entry. So one Ferrari out of the event. So Stenner, his day was doing pretty good. Was battling for the lead, and then was battling for piece 2. Spun out of turn 5. Spun out of turn 5. Then spun again. And then got spun again. And then is crashing the entrance of the pits. That is the question. Did he have help? We'll have to ask from there, see what's going on there. It looks like Leighton just being a bit of an annoyance as he's going a lap down. It looks like Phil and Zakaria had an issue. As Leighton's just spinning. Anyways, Owen, speaking of which, Owen just overtook Cryptic for P3. So did Cryptic have an issue right at the end of Sector 2? As we're seeing on the map, not sure what the heck's going on. Looks like Blackie is spun. And what is Leighton even doing? I think Leighton is trying to crash himself out to cause something. But Leighton's already a lap down, so... But anyways, so Ads is actually going after JP. That is for P6. So Ads is in the points. So at least he is doing he's doing pretty decent on his first return back, as Leighton in the pits has called it. He is out. Anyways, here is Cryptic. Will he actually try again to try to get past Owen to reclaim that P3? Not this time. He's not close enough in turn 1. I'm sorry. Anyways, let's make the way down towards turn 3. Still not close enough. Meanwhile, Joe has just overtaken Jack for P9. Looks like Fire might be fancying a move. I really don't know. Why don't we actually take a look at the tire laps of these? So you can see, pretty much the only people that have less time on the tires is Red Fire with 5-lap-old mediums, 5-lap-old hards, Bourbon 7-lap-old hards, Zakaria 7-lap-old hards, and speaking of tires, the Chiller is in. The leader is in, and he is off those mediums onto the hards. So the Chiller first to pit of the medium tire guys. Now, the question is, how will the other teams respond? And he comes out in P5, and looks like Scyther is having some problems. At a moment out of turn 1. Looks like Jack and GP have also pitted too. It looks like GP is going to come out just ahead of Blackie. We stay in P10. Jack sitting in P12. So Maxwell will inherit the lead. Now, when will he pit? Zakaria has called it a quits. And Maxwell is in. Maxwell's in. Owen's in. Cryptic's gonna stay out and take the lead now. Maxwell onto the hard compound tires. Same with Owen. He will go in as well. And Scyther will inherit second place, but he will take the lead. He'll take the lead once Cryptic goes in. But bear in mind, Cryptic is on the medium tires to go onto the hards. Scyther can go longer, be on the hards, and go onto the mediums later. It looks like the Chiller beats Maxwell out. Owen, he came out behind Ads as Bourbon and the Chiller in the penalty club. With Joe right behind. Joe had so far having a unique season. Doing a full 360 out of the final corner about 5 to 10 laps ago. And he's hanging on P7. It looks like Cryptic is in now, which means Scyther will inherit the lead. Hard compounds for Cryptic. Off and away he goes. And Cryptic will come out. And Joe is wrecked. That'll be a safety car. That should be a safety car. No safety car. I'm surprised. And Cryptic is ahead of Red Fire and behind Owen in 6th. And Joe, out of the event, he crashed out. He crashed out from P8. JP in the penalty club, and unfortunately, we would not know what happened to Stenner because Stenner has left RPL. And that's gonna suck because, Stenner was gonna be in Mercedes for F1 Season 8. Now he's out of here. Wow. What a big turn of events. So we don't know what happened to Stenner. But anyway, so Maxwell is now in pursuit of the Chiller. Does set the fastest lap of the race. Ed Maxwell will get by the Chiller to take P2. And when Scyther does come in, the Chiller will inherit the lead. Because, like I said, Scyther and Ads have yet to stop. And Maxwell, by the way, look at this. Started P18 is up to P3. Ads, by the way, P16 up to P6. Oh, never mind. He just lost P6 to Red Fire. Fire actually putting on a decent showing so far. P6 for the Alpine driver. His teammate Blackie was on loan. He's sitting in P11, so he's just out of the points, but he's got 6 seconds of penalties. The Chiller did set the fastest lap, only for Maxwell to respond with the same thing. So we started with 19. We're down to 12. And here's what happened with all the drivers. Division quit after lap 2. Track got bug stuck, so he was out. Instinct went into the pits and retired. Stenner crashed in the pit lane, and he is gone from RPL. Leighton went to the pits and retired. Zakaria went into the pits and retired. And Joe crashed out of the final corner. So that is what is happened there. As Scyther, by the way, we're on board with him. As you can see in the distance, the AI of Philodent, who's P12. So remember, the Chiller does have that 3-second penalty to worry about. So he has to pull a 3-second gap from Maxwell in order to keep his position. But right now, the way things are, Maxwell, at this present time, will inherit basically provisional lead. So right now, the Chiller 4 seconds behind Scyther. Now, speaking about with Scyther, when he comes into the pits, I think he is going to come out somewhere between Red Fire and Bourbon. So he'll come out between P6 to P8. That's where Scyther will be. But I mean, Scyther's going to have some work to do if he is going to he's gonna have some work to do in order to gain positions. Now, what are the odds that maybe Scyther might stay long? Pit within like the last 10 laps on the softs and just go softs the rest of the race. I swear to God, if I call that right, I'm literally a damn psychic. But here's something. A battle for P4 between Owen and Cryptic. As they make their way down the main street, Cryptic sneaking a peek, not close enough to warrant an attack. As they make their way down towards turn number 3, no, Cryptic just can't keep up. If my memory's right, didn't they pit for the... Well, Cryptic's on a lap newer hard. But yeah, he is having trouble keeping up with Owen. He's having trouble keeping tabs to try to get past Owen for that position. And now, the Chiller, a couple laps ago, that 4-second lead over Scyther has shrunk down, and Maxwell has spun out! Maxwell spins in the penultimate corner, so that says goodbye to his chance for P2. The Chiller now in the safe zone. And looks like GP is having problems. And now, Scyther's lead over the Chiller, 2.2 seconds. I'm not sure what GP is doing. Well, he just locked up and spun. Now he goes a lap down. Like literally, he's just going, and then he just locks up the rear to spin out. I'm not sure why GP's doing that. I mean, if I'm gonna be that kind of nut, what are the odds that maybe GP is doing it? It's just Red Bull shenanigans to crash and cause a safety car to benefit the two Red Bulls that are ahead. Because think about it with Season 5 F1, where Maxwell crashed on purpose to allow Luke to win and get an advantage over Mercedes and Ferrari. They were then found out, and Red Bull were both disqualified from the event. But GP, a lap down, so he'll go to the pit. He'll most likely go to the pits and retire. Maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, Scyther's still staying out. As when we cross the line, there's going to be 11 laps to go. So I'm thinking Scyther, yeah, I'm a damn psychic. Scyther is... Scyther is going to pit and put on softs. I knew it. I knew he would do that. I knew that's what he's going to do. Here he goes. He's in the pits. Bring on those softs. Come on. Make my prediction true. Bring on those softs. Aw, you son of a monkey crack. God damn it. Scyther, I thought Scyther was going to go onto the sauce, but no, he's on mediums. So he comes out P6. I mean, I did call it. He was going to be between P6 and P8. Looks like Scyther has... JP has crashed. Yup, there is a safety car. I knew it. So safety car deployed. It looks like Maxwell is in the pits for sauce. For mediums. Red fire is in. I knew that's what JP was doing. He crashed in the chicane. He crashed. I think he crashed on purpose. And the safety car's out, and look what it benefits. The Red Bulls. And Scyther pitted a lap prior. So, looks like Imola Season 5 has repeated itself. Well, controversy strikes again here in RPL F1. So, the man that you're looking at right now, Scyther, he will be your winner. So, I mean, literally, top 10 right now, it is Chiller, Owen, Cryptic, Scyther, Bourbon, Maxwell, Red, Jack, Ads, Blackie. But, I mean, literally, let's just say this. Scyther is going to be your winner. Maxwell will be P2. And I'll be damn shocked if Red gets P3. Actually, and Bourbon is in. Maxwell's repitted. Never mind. Mediums for... So... Huh. We'll have to see what happens here. But literally, Red is now P5. Now, the interesting thing is he is on the softest tires. So he will have a better chance. We'll have to see what happens here for Red. I hate this freaking audio. It's not playing nice. I need to get better headset, I think. Anyways, so need to get a better headset probably. But anyways, so Owen is leading, but unfortunately he's got a lap car of Philodent to deal with. Now, bear in mind, Philodent has been AI since the beginning. And Bourbon's back in the pits again. Probably realizing medium's not a good idea. Soft tires he goes. So Bourbon's going to go to P10. So anyway, so safety car should be coming in this time. As Jack is disconnected. Jack's come back. Anyway, so the Chiller will lead. Owen has that lap car to deal with. Cryptic is in third. Scyther will be is fourth. Redfire's fifth. Jack 6. Maxwell P7. Ads P8. Blackie P9. And Bourbon P10. That's your top 10. Now bear in mind with the penalties though. Chiller's got a 3-second. Blackie's got 6. And Bourbon's got 3. So is the safety car coming in this time? Yes, safety car is in. We'll be going back to green with 6 laps to go. The Chiller is on the hard compound tires. Same with Owen and Cryptic. They got softer guys right behind. Being Scyther and Red Fire. It looks like they're off and away. Red Fire's sleeping on the restart. We're back on our way. And looks like Scyther looking for a move on Cryptic to get P3. It looks like Cryptic is gonna try to hold the position. No, Scyther goes around on the outside, takes P3. There comes Red Fire now on a flying hunt. Well, where is he gonna make an attack? Here goes Az past Jack to get him to P7. Bourbon takes Blackie for P9. And Blackie has actually spun out in turn 5. And Red Fire cheekily gets past Cryptic for P4. Maxwell follows suit for P5. So the Sauce tires flying in the life for these two. As Maxwell looking to take an attack, and he backs off last second. Cryptic, Maxwell dealing with Red Fire. Meanwhile, Scyther annoying Owen for P2. And can he get past? Yes, he does. Scyther in the P2. But here comes Red Fire to chase down Owen to get himself there, and the Chiller's lead over Scyther 2 seconds. Red make a move. He sends it. Slaps Owen off. Slaps Owen away. And he's actually around. So is Maxwell. Maxwell spun too. Red just did a slap shot move on Owen. Thought it worked, but no, he went spinning it out. Okay, so there goes the soft tire guys. They're done. And watch, probably despite that, Red's gonna blame Owen. Probably. Anyways, Cryptic now dealing with Ads now. Ads into the picture. As Maxwell tries to recoup to get past Jack for P6. DRS back enabled. The Chiller's lead over Scyther, 1.6 seconds. And Red Fire into the pits. Very unfortunate. He sent in that slap shot move, and then he just goes wrong. That sucks. Well, here comes Az. Can he make an attack? Yes, he is. Nope, never mind. And Az resets. So that's a 10-second penalty on Az's part. I didn't see any contact between Cryptic and Ads, but Ads did dump it on his own on the curbing. I don't think nothing Cryptic could have done. He defended pretty decently, to say the least. So, anyways. Looks like Luke has joined in to watch. Here is Max, and Max will just set the fastest lap. He's gonna have to do. Maxwell's gonna have to do insane types of laps in order to recoup some of the losses that he's had. Owen's sitting in P3, by the way. This is a pretty nice lap on Owen. And speaking of which, Scyther's caught up to the Chiller to take the lead. And Bourbon just joined the penalty club now, back in the penalty club, battling Blackie, and looks like Bourbon's actually around. And Maxwell overtakes Cryptic on the outside for P4. With 2 to go, Maxwell 5, almost 6 seconds behind the Chiller and Scyther. As they enter 2 to go. Maxwell's gonna have to put on a blistering set of pace in order to get himself into some good points here. Maxwell really make a move on his boss. No, he doesn't. He's waiting. He's biding his time, actually. But buying that time is actually going to cost him some time. Owen's looking for a potential podium. Maxwell's going to have to figure out something, as looks like Blackie is spun out. Red Fire steals the fastest lap. So Red Fire, fastest lap of the race. That's a unique setting. And Maxwell just spun his boss. I think Maxwell just spun his boss out for P3. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not in the party with them, but I think Owen is probably fuming now. Anyway, so Scyther just took the lead from the Chiller as we enter the final lap. And Maxwell is in third, but I'm not sure how long that'll be, because Cryptic's right up there with him. Jack battling Owen for P5. Bourbon just clearing hands for P7. But anyways, oh god. Oh boy. Well, we've seen everything. We've seen fast laps, we've seen drama, we've seen insanity, and Bourbon just died. So Bourbon will be finishing P10, so he will get 1 point. Ads is just disconnected, but he might be able to get P8, but anyways, controversy strikes again. Scyther wins again, but we'll have to see if that will stand because of the controversy. We don't know. But Maxwell P3, Cryptic P4, Owen recovers for P5, Jack P6, Blackie will cross the line for P9. You'll cross the line for P7, but will fall to P8 because of with Blackie and Red Fire. Red Fire will cross the line P9, and unfortunately, Scyther will get fastest lap point. So there it is. Controversy again. Scyther wins. The Chiller second. Maxo P3, Cryptic P4, Owen P5, Jack P6, Ads P7, Blackie P8, Red P9, and Bourbon will be P10. So we'll have to. So that will conclude. That will conclude the stream for tonight. Next week's events is going to be unique in itself. So, F1 Tier 2 will be racing around the Circuit of the Americas in Austin. F2 next week will be in Sao Paulo, racing at Interlagos. And next week for F1, a lot of drivers will be entering their home race. They'll be racing at Silverstone. So, from RPL Streets, this is Ty9. We'll say good night and have a good one.